had this idea of starting out each episode with like a cold read of just like some song lyrics that we've changed to fit the movie.
Oh my gosh.
It's what we've been doing. It's been fun, but I don't know if it plays well. And I couldn't really find one for this.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to start with, if you're going to San Francisco, be sure to wear a boot knife and feathered hair. If you're going to San Francisco, you're going to meet an eyeball monster there.
That's so good. That was awesome.
Took me forever to find like anything to do with. It had to be about San Francisco.
Right. That was perfect.
Barely linked. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Nostalgia Killers podcast, where we revisit films from our youth to see if they still hold up or should be inserted into the great DVD player in the sky. Today I'm joined by Taylor Diffenerfer.
Hello.
Actor, thespian, jeweler of scenery, destroyer of worlds.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Thank you so much for coming on. And today we are talking about Big Trouble in Little China.
Yes.
So, I mean, for anyone who hasn't seen it, the log line is a rough and tumble trucker and his sidekick face off with an ancient sorcerer in a supernatural battle beneath Chinatown.
I mean, what more do you need?
I know. What else would you want? Before we get into too much of the how much we just flipping love this movie.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it kind of flopped. So it had a budget of $25 million, and it only made 11.
Oh my God.
And there's a lot of reasons why. There's kind of like we kind of figured it out. It just wasn't marketed very well.
Okay.
And it wasn't. On top of that, I think the 80s was a weird time racially.
Okay.
It was very difficult to market non-white heroes, non-American heroes, to a Western audience. And that's one thing that really hasn't held up. It's not the movie's fault at all.
No.
Because it does really well, I think, with like including so many different people in the film. But it was America's fault. I blame America.
I blame America too. Yeah. Easy scapegoat.
Yeah.
I'm just going to read like one bit of trivia. I watched like one video of an interview with John Carpenter about this movie briefly. And I don't know if he was talking about the studios or whatnot. And he was saying that they were worried that the white guy was too stupid and all like the, Asian actors were kind of getting the better of him. Mm-hmm. And John was like, yeah, that's the point. Yeah, that's what we're doing here.
I can see that conversation going that way. Yeah, that's the vibe I got too from all the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah,
Carpenter was not happy with how the studios promoted it. Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't have to say if you don't want to, but I'm guessing this came out before you were born.
Yes.
So I'm curious. I'm curious how you came to see Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say I was born in 91.
Okay.
And I have a shit memory. I don't know if it's okay if I swear.
How dare you?
Oh my God.
No, it's fine.
Inappropriate. I have a terrible memory, and I can never remember the first time I watched anything. And I can't remember the first time I watched Big Trouble in Little China, but I feel like this movie has just been a part of my life forever.
Right. Awesome.
I watched it in high school for the first time. I don't know. But yeah, like the nostalgia factor for me with this movie, definitely being in my early 20s, like living in a house with a bunch of roommates, and we would put this movie on all the time. We all got matching pins. My friend James would constantly quote this movie, and it just holds a special spot in my little heart.
Excellent. That's always nice to hear. For me, I grew up, I actually never saw this entire film. Once it's happened again, I think the same thing happened to RoboCop. I only saw it on television. Mm-hmm. So I only saw the television edit with the annoying commercials.
Oh, God.
It's chopped to hell, chopped to shit, really. Just like all the fun stuff cut out. Oh, but I still remember the knife throwing and catching.
Yeah.
The catching and throwing right back. That's like, for whatever, I mean, this came out in 87 where I was 7 years old. Probably watched it at 9, 10, 11, 12. And like that's the one thing that stuck with me.
Yeah.
Like, I had no idea what the plot was. No idea.
Don't need to.
No idea who was who. Didn't know who Kurt Russell was. I just wanted to watch that one scene over and over. The special effects too, with the
incredible.
Yeah, just was it England or Edland? I wrote it down somewhere, but basically the guy who did the first Star Wars trilogy.
Interesting.
He came over and did the majority of the special effects for this film.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I will find his name because they were professionals here.
Very professional.
Robert Edlund.
It sounds like Robert Englund.
I know. I was thinking like, oh no, it's not Freddy.
Freddy Krueger did the special effects for Big Trouble in Little China. You heard it here first.
Another thing I want to do with this podcast is start bad rumors.
Yeah. Oh.
Because if you say things into a microphone, people fucking believe you. It's like the weirdest thing.
That's the first one. It's the truth.
Richard Edlund. Yeah, I did write it down. VFX by Richard Edlund from the original Star Wars trilogy, Poltergeist, and Ghostbusters.
Oh, what a great career.
Yeah. Yep. And then I love all the effects in here, but there weren't that as many as I thought there would be.
Okay.
Because I heard he was part of this before I watched this again.
Uh-huh.
I can only count 4 different like actual like puppets and like monsters, but they're still great.
Right.
They hold up.
They really do. Yeah. All the special effects really hold up for me. Practical effects always hold up in my opinion, if they're done well.
Mm-hmm. And the expertise was on show here, I think. So I went over my most nostalgic scene, which is the knife throwing. How about you? What are some scenes that are like top for you?
So I have like 3 pages of scribbly notes with all my favorite scenes, and it turns out it's every scene in this movie. But I think, the big one for me is like the rumble in the alleyway, the Chinese standoff.
Right on.
Oh man, like just being in that truck in the alleyway, which there's no way that would ever fit in an actual alleyway in San Francisco.
Right.
And just like Jack holding his knife, and they're both like, Wang and him are looking in the rear view mirrors, and like out of the fog, these men come up wielding weapons, and it's just so like with the score in the background, it's just like, whoa, what's gonna happen? And chaos ensues, but like so much of that scene is so memorable. Like the 3 storms coming
Most
in.
definitely.
Yeah, Lo Pan's entrance and like the light coming out of his eyes and mouth. Oh,
I think that was in my nightmares as a kid. I've actually had nightmares with. I think
it's terrifying if you're a kid.
For sure, I should not have been watching that as a child. Really, hat tip to good parenting there.
Great, yeah. Oh, yeah. My parents didn't really go through the trouble of editing what I watched. Yeah, that's the most memorable for me, for sure. It's burned in my brain.
After watching this for the first time last night, really, I have so many more like scenes that I've like really loved. I remember the gold statues at the end when they're dominoing over.
Yes. Yeah.
As someone who works in film now, that must have been a fucking nightmare to reset. I think they only had one shot to get that to work right, because all of those.
Yeah, do they break?
They broke. They're like porcelain. Like they couldn't just stand them back up. They had to like bring in new ones if they were going to do it again.
Ooh, that's so stressful.
Oh my god, that's where I respect that.
That's so fun. I never think about that, like
right.
the making of it, and yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and then for people who are, especially like John Carpenter, adventurous enough to do that, to like say, yeah, fuck it, let's try this, even if it takes days and days to get. Yeah, and they do it. Hell yeah, much respect. Also, like you, I kind of found myself falling in love with every scene. Right. I couldn't really pick a good one. Like I mean, the best one for me, other than the knife thing, just remembering that as a child.
Yeah. It's a roller coaster. I mean, once it starts, like there's no getting off.
Yeah. I have some notes about that.
Oh yeah.
But that's for later in the nitpicky part. But
okay, cool. Oh, I mean, even like the opening credits, like yeah, the score really, John Carpenter, like. I just love it. I'm such a huge fan of his. Yeah. And you put one of his scores in anything and like you're just hooked immediately, It's
definitely memorable.
Like,
yeah. Now that I've listened to it, I know that I've seen parodies of it. I know people who've aped him, for sure. He's definitely got his own milieu and his own sound.
Oh yeah.
So CB radio, does that make any sense to you? I'm just curious, not to like make fun of a young person, but
like what he's using in the in the truck.
Yeah.
I mean, I think just watching movies,
okay,
and seeing that used in film.
Sure.
Really,
that makes sense to me. I'm just curious if anybody else who watched it who was maybe even born like after 2000.
Sure.
I know they still use them, but they're very rare. But a CB radio was just a radio you had in your truck or your car. They came out in the 70s, I think.
Yeah.
It's called Citizen Band. And you could just be your own radio station.
Right. Okay,
and
yeah.
You had it was the weirdest thing because normally they're really strict about who can be a radio person, who can transmit radio stuff.
Sure, makes sense.
But the fact that Jack Burton is transmitting his own radio show from his truck is fucking hilarious.
It's so good.
At the start.
Just imagine the people listening to this man, what is he talking about?
Yeah, and as he drives through the town, anyone who had a CB radio turned on and scanning might have heard him starting to drive by and then just vanish.
Yeah,
just the freaking insane ramblings of
beautiful ramblings. So speaking of memorable, have you paid your dues, Jack? It's
right.
Yes, sir, the check is in the mail. I mean, that is just, I think I quoted that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I had paid attention to this as a child, there are so many quotable lines from this movie.
It's true.
There are I have some written down. We'll get to them. They're insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no...
Half my notes are just quotes.
Oh my God. So one of the, another trivia thing I learned even before watching the film again was that Kim Cattrall and Susie Pye had to wear colored contact lenses in order just to fit the plot of the film.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense, but it was also apparently really excruciating.
Oh God, I bet.
And it was Kim Cattrall was only on set for a certain number of hours during the day anyways. Mm-hmm. And I'll get to that in a minute, which is really cool. Yeah. You probably know about it.
I think I do.
That's insane too. I don't know how she did that.
Right.
But you can, if you watch close and you watch the HD version, you can see the redness from the contacts. They're just, and I remember my father having colored contact lenses back then, and they were horrible. They were just made your eyes red. They just bothered you. They didn't have the technology we have today.
Right. They're probably harder and yikes.
Yeah. So knowing that going into the film, that's all I saw when I was looking at their eyes. It's oh, you poor creature.
They handled it so well.
Yeah. But I think I even read somewhere where Kim Cattrall had to take them out in between takes.
Oh, what a nightmare.
Hell yeah. That's dedication too. I don't know if you could run away from that in any way from contract or whatever, but
yeah,
they soldiered through.
Yeah. Golf clap for that, Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful.
The name of Susie Pye's character, Miao Yin, is apparently Chinese for cat-like.
Oh, I did not know that.
It's just that there's a lot of, I didn't write down all the there's a bunch of Chinese writing and signs and stuff on the film that have little hidden jokes too. But I recommend seeking those out. They're pretty fun.
Okay. Ooh, that's fun.
They have little different meanings. They're little subtle, Easter eggs.
Yeah.
That Carpenter threw in there.
Send me some stuff. I'll look at it. The airport scene.
Yeah, that's about where I'm up to on mine too. So.
The punks from Chinatown. They look so freaking cool. They really do.
I want those white sunglasses with the slit. Those could not have been useful.
No,
but I
want them. You couldn't have seen a thing, but he didn't need to. Amazing. Yep. And just, everything Kim Cattrall says in this movie, her line delivery is just on point, man. And when
my favorite I have written down coming up next is when she sneaks into their little meeting. It's just, don't panic. It's only me, Crazy Law.
Yes, I wrote that down too.
No pause. No. This is the 40th time I've said this today. This is the take we're using. Oh my God.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
And nobody cared.
No.
Nobody jumped up. Nobody asked who the person was.
Don't panic. It's me.
There's so much of that dialogue in this film.
I like to think that that's how she enters every room.
Don't worry, it's me, Kim Cattrall.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, the punks from Chinatown, their look, just incredible. It's kind of chaotic, like you don't know what's going on, and like do they have Mao Yin? Who else do they like? What's going on here? Mm-hmm. And then the scene in the parking structure is fantastic. Yeah, I guess I didn't really write much about that. I just other than I just love the way
just love it.
the punks looked, man.
The pacing of this film is it's something I noticed. I love it. I'm not. It's going to sound like I'm bashing the film, but I'm completely not.
It's okay.
It's its own.
I can take it.
It's its own thing. just put the gun down.
Okay.
And I forgot the guy's name. Wang. He's saying, "Jack, I don't expect you to come." Burton's like, "Where is it?"
Yeah.
"Thank you, Jack." Like, there's no pause in between those lines. It's
it's
all one string. It's like there's no drama. They didn't leave any room for drama in between the lines.
Yes, you're right.
And it's like I'm thinking they were trying to go for like a 1940s noir, really quick whiplash banter, like back and forth. Like
sure.
Blah 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 blah. But they just didn't do it, and they didn't do it through the entire film. So I know they did it on purpose.
Yeah. And
it's funny, but it also it's its own character.
It's totally true.
And it's very John Carpenter, and I love it. It's just I was trying to, I couldn't even hear what he said. Like there was so little pause between the lines. I mistook what he said.
Yeah.
I had to rewatch that part. The whole movie's like this. Just move on to the next thing. Move on to the next thing. Move on to the next thing.
It's so true. I had never really thought about it, but like it's very like characteristic of John Carpenter in a lot of ways, but like I think it works so well for this movie.
Yeah, it's its own thing for sure. Like, and they got an hour and 40 minutes to get through of stuff. So they were like, John Carpenter's like, just do it faster.
Yeah. Keep going. Oh, there is a quote from when they're in the parking structure and Jack Burton goes like, "Call the cops, son of a bitch must pay." It's like, yes. Like,
did you say
what?
that on yours? You said that on yours?
Say that one more time.
He said that on yours? He didn't say, he said just call the cops.
He said it on mine. He said, "Son of a bitch must pay."
Oh, maybe he did say that on mine.
Yeah.
I just remember him screaming, "Call the cops."
No, which is like,
what a weird thing to say.
Nah, that would just be lame. It's like, come on, Jack.
There's one shot of Susie Pie in the trunk of I don't think, is that an IROC? I couldn't like identify the car.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but
she looks like
I know what you're
uncomfortable
talking about. Oh God, like the fear in her eyes it is palpable.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty terrifying.
Yeah. And just as like, there's a weird, like, there's a window there. So it's really strange that you can see her.
Like this weird little hatchback
and there's
thing.
no trunk.
It is strange.
Really, really uncomfortable.
Yeah, poor thing.
I was like, oh God.
Yeah, I wrote down, "Don't panic, it's me, Chrissy Law." So when Jack Burton goes undercover into the brothel.
Oh my God. I was so confused about this as a kid.
Oh, really?
I had no idea. I didn't understand prostitution or what a brothel was.
Yeah.
But,
You're like, what's going on? So a bit of trivia I learned, which I did not know and was very excited about. The outfit that he wears, the tie and everything, it's ridiculous, right? Is the same. Well, I don't think it's the exact same outfit he wore, but it's like a replica of the outfit he wore in another film called Used Cars.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Used Cars?
I've seen parts of that. Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about.
I'm not sure if it holds up. I haven't seen it in a very long time.
I have to say, as someone who lived through the 80s, everything was ridiculous.
Right? That movie is totally the epitome of ridiculous. But like Kurt Russell as like a charismatic, smarmy used car salesman. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Yeah.
But I love that he wore the same outfit.
That is pretty funny.
It's cute. I love it when movies kind of, wink at each other.
Oh yeah. There's all kinds of stuff in some other films.
Yeah.
Like I told you, we're doing Overboard like right next to this one.
I know.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
We'll do it again one day. But yeah, there are so many little Easter eggs in that film to previous films. that Kurt Russell's in.
Sure.
And it's like, it's weird. Like, there's so many.
Oh, see, we were talking about that, and that's like, I want to rewatch it again, but now I'm like, do I want to rewatch Overboard? Probably not.
Just get someone else to pay for it. That's my recommendation.
I will. But I will say the
there.
reason you apologize to me is because I am a massive Kurt Russell fan.
Yes.
Big fan. Which
as am I.
Yes.
But I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings because not everybody has 5 stars in every performance, every film.
That's true.
Not everyone,
Except for Kurt Russell.
There you go. There's the fight I wanted.
And he really is like, he's so great in this movie. I mean, no one can argue with that. I mean, he's really doing his thing. He's
also, like, as a movie star, he's kind of threatened in position as being like the hero or the main guy, and his ego doesn't get in the way at all. He's having fun with this entire thing.
Yes.
So good.
That's one of the reasons why I love him so much as an actor, is because I can feel how much fun he has in every freaking role he plays.
It very much comes through.
It's awesome.
Yep.
Like, I have fun watching him,
For sure. I get happy when I see him, like, no matter what it is.
Me too.
Yeah. So when they're coming back from the airport and they go down the alleyway, and we start to see the big fight. Mm-hmm. Was it 3 clans? Like, there's like, I lost count. Because there's the people at the funeral, then there's the people in the black with the red headbands, and then there's the people in the black with the gold headbands.
Yeah, the yellow, and
And they're friendly.
They're the good guys.
But then the 3 storms show up, and then who cares what the other people are doing? Those people are badass.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
The huge hats, like
incredible.
I've seen that in anime, and that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I don't know if that's an actual traditional like headdress.
I don't either, but it looks incredible.
It looks incredible. Completely not useful. Once again, there's no way you could see.
They don't need to see it. They don't need to see it.
They're gods, of course.
Yeah, they're magic.
Silly me.
But I love those big hats because you're obstructed, like you can't see their faces. You're mysterious. Like, who are these mysterious beings that just appeared? And then the camera's like close up on all their faces. It's like, ugh.
One of my favorite things is the grunting, the over grunting, the martial arts grunting. Yes. Like it's like if your voice was a fist. Like, yeah. I fucking love it. They overdo it so much in this one, and it's just, can't.
Never too many grunts.
I mean, they're in danger of getting a hernia, like from like the amount of squeezing they were doing.
Oh my God. Well, yeah. And because there's thunder, lightning, and rain, right? And lightning is, in that scene, he's puts his hands out and his weapon starts spinning in his hands, and there's a close-up of his face, and he's just like, and it like looks like he's trying to squeeze something out. I
think he was the gruntiest of the 3 for sure. He was like, he put on the best performance vocally. I think it was meant to be intimidating.
I think it was as well.
But it's just funny now to me.
It's great.
I also like the spinny things. I'm going to get into it a little bit, but like useless weapons. But the spinny things were weird, funny, great. Once again, maybe just like, for me as a kid, I was like, wow, that's pretty intimidating and weird. Yeah. It looked like he had salad forks spinning.
Right. That's what, yeah, totally.
And then I forget which one. The other guy had like sticks with little hands at the end of it.
Yeah.
Was it the rain?
Yeah. Those like claws.
That was, just another bizarre.
Those are freaking cool.
Looking invention to me.
I feel like those have to be a real weapon. I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't see the efficacy, but they look great.
Oh man, since we're still kind of here in that area, when Lopan is blinding them with the light coming out of his mouth, right. And Wayne's like, "Don't look, Jack." He's like, "I already did."
That's where that banter back and forth works really well. Yes. That joke plays.
It plays so well.
That was great. Yes.
I was laughing out loud throughout this entire movie. It was awesome. And I've seen it so many times before, but I'm still just like,
I will definitely watch this again too.
Yeah.
Like, for sure.
Yeah, definitely rewatchable.
For sure. Don't panic. It's only me, Gracie Law.
Oh, yeah. Let's just say that every once in a while throughout this podcast.
There's Gracie Law, and then there's Burton.
Yeah.
Kate Burton is the actor's name. What was her name? The reporter.
Margot? Was
Margot.
that it? I didn't write it down.
Well,
honestly, the character for me, like, she's somewhat forgettable.
That's my point. Like,
yeah.
Who is this? Like, she's barely attached to the plot of the film.
She's just ridiculous. I mean, there's no real reason why she needs to be there, you know. And yeah, I think her name's Margot. I could be totally wrong. Sorry.
No, I'm the same way. Like, I can't remember her name. I don't remember exactly what she does. She's this completely, if there was a B plot, she would be in it because she's a reporter trying to solve this stuff. But we never have a B plot. We're stuck on.
No, you know, she's got a little romance going on.
The guy, the actor's name is, I didn't write it down.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to help me with
Donald Lee is the actor's name.
Okay.
I want to give him my own little award for overacting.
Oh, great.
In this film, because
that's a biggie.
He's probably the one person who I think was the most bored on set. So every time he's trying to express, he's just like overdoing it.
He's like, I'm raising my eyebrows as high as they can go here.
Yes. He was the love interest for the. They both kind of canceled each other out of the film.
They did.
It was great. It was good for them. Good for them. Hope they're happy.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Really rooting for him.
Glad they were there.
Oh, man.
Oh, I know what they were there for. To dump exposition.
Okay. Yes.
That entire scene.
You're right.
That entire scene, even the people there look bored at the stuff people are saying.
Sure.
It's like, you mean Old Man Harris, the guy who did the thing and the thing?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Just get it in here now.
There's a shot of Kim Cattrall's character as like Margot is talking, and she's like rolling her eyes like as she's just giving exposition. Oh my God. Yeah. I should have wrote more about that scene because that is gold. That is like.
I know. Yeah.
I do wonder if Carpenter was doing kind of a parody. Not a parody, but like kind of a self-aware, because the characters in the scene themselves look bored with the information that's coming at them.
Yeah, sure. I never thought about it, really. I just kind of let that scene wash over me.
It's like all the entire plot of the film comes to light in that one moment, and they're all like, yeah, let's go.
I'm not mad about it. I love it.
Me neither. Me neither. But I'm pretty sure like John Carpenter was competent enough to know that he was doing that. I'm pretty sure he did that on purpose.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
because everybody does look bored.
Yeah.
No one's like completely not motivated to get out of there and do the thing. They already know what's happening. They're sitting down eating.
Yeah.
And they
got to fuel up.
It's just, one of the things that stuck out to me.
Oh man. When they break in and Jack and Wang reach also the set design is so cool. Like the crates in that like warehouse with all the fake cobwebs on it. Mm-hmm. Like so neat. Like just like attention to, I guess it's not detail. It's a set, but it just looks great.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. Set design, everything. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, just him reading the Chinese characters and like saying it's, hell of boiling oil. Jack's like, you're kidding. He's like, yeah, it just says keep out. It's just like little banter like that. It's just so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to say like everything except for the alleyway and the driving is on a soundstage.
Oh.
In LA. So they actually like built all the set.
That makes sense.
Because there's no room in that alleyway to have that huge fight.
No.
And like, so all that stuff, the underground, all that stuff was on sound stages. They like carpenters put nails to wood and built all that stuff. Oh
man, it looks so cool. That underground is so cool. Yeah, it really does.
It is so like, we're missing that these days. Everything's digital and like computer generated, but like people handcrafted everything in this film.
Yeah, it makes it so much more real. Like they really built a whole world that feels real.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had so much fun. It's just eye candy just coming at me through the whole thing.
It's true. This movie really is eye candy. That's a good way to describe it, actually.
It looks good.
It's visually stunning.
They obviously had fun making it.
Yeah, the makeup, the costumes. I mean, holy moly.
Other than the contact lenses.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, I just have pain. I feel the pain. Yeah. My one thing that kind of I have, it's not quite a nitpick. It's like one thing that doesn't hold up is the wet t-shirt or the wet shirt thing, which I never saw as a kid because it was on TV, so they cut that part out. But like, there's this weird. I have it written down as the obligatory, gratuitous 1980s wet look boobage, because this was in every 80s film.
I didn't even notice this, so I'm excited for you to talk about it.
I'm watching out for this kind of thing because I'm like looking for things like, not to cancel it, not to like, but like things have changed and we're more discreet about what we do.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's a scene in the sewers when they're climbing out, and like there's no reason for Kim Cattrall, for one thing, to not be wearing a bra. so it's like it's braless, wet shirt.
Yeah.
And you know that the Carpenter's off camera going, show your boobs, and it's like it's like, come on. There's a whole scene where Kim Cattrall is sitting kind of off to the side. She's not really taking part in the conversation and she's showing, and it's like she's just sitting there. And then the next cut, like she's actually pulled her sweater over as you would do.
Yeah.
That's my one thing. That's the only thing I found in this film. That's
a good one thing. I feel kind of ashamed that I didn't even notice it.
I'm not sure if it's in every edit. I rented this streaming.
I also rented this streaming. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, I told you I couldn't find my DVD. Very upsetting. I mean, I do have some nitpicks. Like I was like, I'm not going to find anything. But
let's go for that.
With the sewer scene, a surprise kiss never works.
I blew over that as just being weird. Like,
it is weird.
But that's also kind of.
It's, this one doesn't bother me. There's so many more egregious, like, surprise kisses in so many films from, like, the 80s, 90s. I mean, it really still, even today, I'm sure it's happening.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking about it more and more, and it's just so unnecessary. It makes, like, when Gracie and Jack, like, kind of have a thing in the elevator, like, it doesn't work for me. Like if they were to kind of have a moment where they both maybe wanted to kiss and then decided not to, that would have worked way better in my opinion.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Jack surprise kissing her in the sewer doesn't need to happen.
And that makes me think this was written by boys,
Oh, yeah.
Just immature boys. Yeah. I guess I didn't pay attention to their budding relationship too much. As I knew it was there, but yeah, you're right. It's
because it's kind of shoehorned in, it's not really necessary for the movie, but it's kind of fun at the same time. It's just like, I just wish the surprise kiss never happened.
Sure. I can totally take that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got any other nitpicks?
Malian. Zero character.
Did she have any lines? I'm trying to remember. She spoke a couple times, right?
I was going to ask you the same thing.
I think it was after she was out of hypnosis at the end. She only said like, watch out, or...
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But you're very right.
In my head, I'm like, she doesn't speak throughout this movie, and there's zero character. I said zero character. She has a character, but there's no character to develop on top. Like there's no character development at all. It's like... She's
essentially property to both Lopan and...
Yes, which I hate.
That sucks. Yep.
It totally sucks.
And I think the term for it is like fridging, like when you put the character in the fridge.
Yes.
And that's kind of what happens to her. She's not in this movie.
It's true.
Very much, even though she's like the MacGuffin. She's the thing everyone's trying to get to.
Yeah.
Yep. That was kind of. You're right. Very much. Looking at it from today, very egregious, I think.
Yeah.
But at the time in the 80s, they didn't think of that shit.
No, not at all.
So it didn't stick out to me as like offensive from an 80s perspective.
Yeah.
But you're very right. It's Susie Pie did not have, and she didn't go on to do much after this. And I wonder if
I only know her from this.
Yeah. Yeah. She was a model before and a little bit after.
Gorgeous.
And like maybe if she had a character with lines and some stuff to do, she might have been more into acting.
Potentially. We'll never know.
Yeah, maybe this killed her taste for it.
Oh no, I hope not.
Yeah, right.
I mean, she's great, like, but they didn't give her much.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's it. Those are my biggest ones,
Okay.
really. I mean, it's hard to nitpick this movie. I just want to talk
it
about
is
how
difficult.
perfect it is.
My nitpick in all films is a big thing with limitless ammo and guns.
I love it.
So, like I get it. It's a movie. You don't want to have to show nobody. We don't watch them brush their teeth and stuff. We don't want to see the unnecessary things. But Kurt Russell has this Tech 9 gun that he shoots empty at one point, and it's not even his gun. He picks it up off a guard.
Yeah.
He shoots it empty, and he's still carrying it with him everywhere he goes, like it's a threat. And then it still has bullets in it later on. Where did he get the ammo?
I don't know.
And then he does that, shoot it over the head, and then he bonks himself out.
Perfect.
In a very Looney Tunes way.
Yes,
I love that.
very
part.
Looney Tunes.
But yeah, that's like one of my nitpicks I noticed pretty much in every film. But this one is like, why is he carrying this thing around? He's got the plastic knife that he puts in his teeth. You can sadly tell that it's plastic.
I love that
stage
he's holding his little knife and his gun at all times.
He looks like a badass.
He really does.
But he's
He looks
holding a
great.
plastic knife and an empty gun.
But like, it's kind of perfect for a character like Jack Burton, who's
Yes.
very much of a threat. Like, if the gun's real and there are
so
bullets,
true.
it doesn't make a
That's
difference.
so true.
So it kind of works for him.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's very true.
And he's so awkward with the gun, which is awesome. When he first shoots it and it looks like it's about to fall out of his hand.
Like, was it Kim Cattrall said, "Do you know what you're doing with that thing?"
Right. Yes.
He's like, "What does it look like?"
Yeah. And she's thinking, no.
Of course I know.
And when they trade the guns.
Yeah.
That's a good moment.
Yep.
Yeah. I like that. It's just, it's so, because I feel like I've seen that in movies where, like, one person's like jealous of the other gun, know, but like Jack kind of handles it in such a funny way, and so does Wang, and he's just like, "Hey, want to trade?" Just like do-si-do.
So what do you think of their buddy cop kind of smash up, where it's kind of confusing about who's the hero in the film, who's, in my opinion, it's Wang.
Oh,
Kurt Russell's there. He's great. But
Yeah.
he's like knocking himself out, doing stupid things. There's a shot of him lying flat on his back after he knocks himself out.
oh my God, no, Wang for sure is the hero. I mean, he gets him there, like when, the battle in like the, I don't know what to call it, the throne room, and Kurt's incapacitated. And Wang's just like doing like crazy martial arts and like killing it, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's another thing where they couldn't figure out how to market the film because there was no clear hero either,
That's true.
despite it being, a non-white American, whatever that bullshit was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was like Wang for sure. Wang was the hero. Jack was the sidekick.
Yeah.
He's funny. He doesn't talk like a sidekick, but and I saw in an interview too, like the actor who plays Wang, Dennis Dunn, he's talking about that specific thing, and he thinks that him and Jack are like buddy cops. There's no sidekick.
Okay, sure.
So he felt very much that they were both playing.
And I can see that just because Kurt Russell as Jack Burton has so much charisma.
Yeah.
You need him there.
The film opens on him. Like,
Yeah.
We're following it through his eyes.
I always thought he was the hero growing up, and then the more I watch it, which I watch it pretty frequently, the older I get, the more I'm like, oh no, you're ineffective
You're
completely,
scenery.
which is great. It just makes me love it more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I don't know too many other films who tried this format. There's like, a few years later, there's Tango and Cash, but they're both like
Classic.
megastars, and they are actually fighting for the camera,
Yes.
off screen and on screen.
Oh man.
But on this one, they're just friends, and
Yeah.
they're like at the beginning too. I was confused about their relationship because they're betting, and one of them loses a bet to the other,
Yeah.
and I was kind of like, oh shit, here comes another fight. They're gonna beat each other up or whatever.
I know.
But no, they're like really buds.
They're buds. They're so cute.
Yep.
I love them together.
Yeah, I love that. Like, I love that there's no tension Like that tension isn't there. Like there's no, I don't know, to distract or.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It would take away from the fun for sure.
It would. Yeah. And they do have a lot of fun together. I do think it is funny that when they are going to they're going to the airport and Jack doesn't know that yet, and Wang's like, oh yeah, follow me, and then he's like, actually we're going together.
In my truck, yeah.
You know, pretty smart. But they don't get in Wang's reasonably sized truck. They get in the Pork Chop Express.
Let's talk about a semi-truck as a commuter vehicle.
In San Francisco.
They drifted a little bit. I don't know if you saw that. To get into the alleyway, they had to spin the back tires
over a little bit. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It's a great choice. It's just an unrealistic one.
Yes.
But, you know, who are we talking? I mean, this entire movie.
Yeah, let's nitpick that, right?
Let's nitpick that.
Yeah. Everything else flies, but the truck can't handle that.
Yeah. James Hong, right? That's Lopan?
Yes.
I know this. Yeah.
Well, I was just about to get onto that. I was gonna ask you, who do you think won the film?
It's hard for me. I have 3 people
that
I want to give it to. I'm going to give it to one person today. I'd like to give honorable mentions.
Sure, for sure.
And that's definitely James Hong as Lopan.
Okay.
What a iconic performance.
Yes.
Incredible. I love him so much in this movie. I mean, he is Lopan. He is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
As the old man with the makeup and his voice, his weird little voice. He talks like this, and it's just perfect. Yeah, he's iconic. I feel like the clear winner is almost Jack Burton because it's such a charismatic, fun performance by Kurt Russell.
Sure.
And it's hard for me not to pick him because I am a huge fan. But on this rewatch, last night when I rewatched it, Kim Cattrall as Gracie Law stood out to me the most.
Right on.
I mean, she really nailed this freaking character. She's so cool. Everything about her, every word that comes out of her mouth, I'm listening. She is extremely competent and capable. She doesn't need anyone's help. She's really fucking shit up, man. I love Gracie Law. So she's my pick.
Very cool. And despite the contact lenses, she was leaving set at 4:30 every day to go be in a whole production. What was it?
Yeah, Three Sisters by Anton Chekhov.
There you go.
Yeah,
she do a whole Chekhov play every day.
I know.
They were filming. What? I don't understand.
That just makes her so much cooler.
To think that she was dealing with being in this movie while giving the performance she did and having fun with it, and then going to do a very serious play. I mean,
yeah, which is incredible. And she was, I don't have it pulled up, but in the trivia I was reading about, she was basically saying that was her day job.
That's right. Yes.
Performing in Big Trouble in Little China was her day job. And then she could go do theater afterwards, instead of being a cocktail waitress or what. That's kind of what you do when you're an actor. She was just acting in movies and then performing.
A John Carpenter film was her McDonald's before she went to go to
it's insane.
Her real job.
It's so freaking cool. Kim Cattrall's so awesome. I love her.
I can totally see that. And I totally respect that.
Yeah.
My pick is it James Hong?
As Lopan?
James Hong as Lopan. There is some things I found out about him. Obviously sitting through 10 hours of makeup to be the older version of himself.
Oh, goodness.
That thing, I was grossed out watching that. That was some of the nastiest
especially
makeup.
When the light comes through.
Oh my God. I did not remember that part. I don't think I saw that as a kid.
Ugh.
But that right there, playing Lopan, also recently being in the recent winner for Best Picture, Best Director.
I know.
Everything Everywhere All at Once. So cool.
Very cool. So proud of him. I love it.
I looked at his IMDb. He has 456 film credits. That's the most I've ever seen.
That's a lot.
My person before I looked at his IMDb, the only person I knew who did that much was Michael Madsen at 331.
Wow.
He's constantly working. But James Hong, he's been in this since the 50s. since like Kurt Russell was born.
Yeah.
Like in the 50s. James Hong was already acting.
Man.
And he's been doing this so much and so long that he's very iconic for me.
Yeah.
But I also found this video on YouTube of some people who went to go look at the scenes that you can still see in San Francisco of like the shots they had. And then they went to a Comic-Con where James Hong is dressed up as Lo Pan, giving an interview and signing autographs.
What?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
That to me is fucking dead. That was last year, 2021.
That was last year?
2 years ago. 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Holy.
James Hong is still dressing up as Lo Pan.
He's so freaking cool. He's so freaking cool.
And he has a show, like an actual like dance show as Lo Pan.
What?
Yes.
Oh.
It's not in the video. I'll send you the video and I'll put it on the podcast notes, right?
That's incredible.
That's for me is why James Hong is just,
I mean, yeah,
shoots out of the movie for me.
No, I know I said previously that Jack Burton's the obvious choice, and that's because I am biased, and you know this, but Lo Pan is really, I mean, he's the like visually just too, like the standout. I mean, that's what you remember, especially as a kid, that's what you remember, you know, and his performance is just so good. It's so good. I almost want to talk more about him as like in the wheelchair.
Go for it.
I don't even know if I have much to say on the matter, but I love his little wheelchair.
Right.
That's electric, and he just like pulls out. It's such a goofy performance, but it's so perfect.
It's very Jim Henson, like the way he handles himself.
Yeah. He is kind of like a puppet, and I love that. And just so many good lines. Those lines really, really stand out to me. Like in my head, like it always kind of creeps up every once in a while. I hear 2 girls with green eyes, like that.
And I really don't remember this scene from watching it as a kid, but watching it this time, he has so many more lines than I remember him, and it's justice. It's right. He should have all the lines.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, talk about someone who's having fun. He is having a blast, man. Like, he is just like, you can feel how much fucking fun he's having on that set. Yep. And clearly it's still important to him.
Yep. He's still having fun with it.
Amazing. Of course. How can you not?
Yep.
Oh, that's so awesome. That makes me happy. Sewer escape. Oh, the monster abduction. That monster with that abducts Gracie Law.
Was it the orangutan?
Yeah, the hairy weird dude.
Yeah.
With the weird teeth.
Yeah.
Looking through the eye holes and then like opens up a mystery door and takes her down into a hole. Yeah. I don't know. I just want to give that a mention. Love a monster. Love a hairy monster.
Yeah.
You're cringing.
For me, it was the Guardian. So there's this. I'm pretty sure you know the joke, but there's this old D&D joke.
Oh, I might not.
So there's a monster called the Beholder.
Okay. It's
just a flesh orb covered in eyeballs.
Yucky.
And I think it's just a joke from the old phrase like "beauty's in the eye of the beholder." So they made a really ugly thing. It's just made out of eyes.
Just made out of eyes, yeah.
And that's exactly what this Guardian character looks like.
Yeah.
It looks like from all the old D&D books. That's what.
Totally. I wonder if it was inspired by that or not. Who
Possibly.
knows?
It was just really good, really well done.
So fucking gross. And what's the most disgusting thing about the Guardian is I forget at what moment it kind of pans over to it and it licks its mouth and there's an eyeball on the tip of its tongue.
It's a completely non sequitur shot. There's other shit going on and they cut to the Guardian on the ground licking himself with his eyeball tongue.
Ew.
Yes. I'm glad they left that in. Like, they didn't have to put it in.
The eyeball at the tip of that gross, grotesque tongue is perfect. I love how, like, Jack just starts shooting it like a maniac. Like, all right. That's awesome.
I think I noticed this time watching through, its nose flap cuts open and there's an eyeball inside there, too. It's so
yucky.
So icky.
I love how gross it is.
That's that mastery coming through, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's perfect. A scene I would be remiss if I did not mention before this is over is the elevator scene.
Going up or going down?
After they drink the potion.
Okay. Yes. The 8 guys in an elevator.
It's perfect. It is so perfect. And like, I even have it here. I'm just gonna quote it.
Go for it. Go for it.
You know, I don't know if I'll do it justice. But it's Jack saying, I feel pretty good. I'm not scared at all. I kind of feel invincible. Wang, me too. I've got a very positive attitude about this. Jack, yeah, me too. Sorry. At that moment, Jack looks at Egg Shen and winks at him. And Egg Shen looks so uncomfortable, and it's perfect. Everyone starts throwing up the signs to each other. And then he's like, is it getting hot in here, or is it just me? And it's just such a goofy little perfect scene, and I love it.
Yes.
I was not a good impression, but thank you for indulging me.
You did fine. Yes, that's also something I think has been paid homage and like parodied in other films.
I bet. Yeah.
Yes, I completely forgot about that in this movie too.
Yeah.
Like, it's because the scene right before that, they're at the bar drinking their special courage potion.
Also a great scene.
And then the scene after that, it's like the big battle scene. So like there's this little pause, little intermission of them hanging out in an elevator.
It's perfect, yes. You know, because it's like, it's pretty tense. You know, there's a lot going on. It's just like a little like, all right.
I was kind of surprised it didn't have some like music going on in the background.
You can almost hear it, even though it's not there. Yeah. Oh, and with I just have like a bunch of quotes here, but before they drink the potion, and Jack's like, "What's in the flask, Egg? A magic potion?" He's like, "Yeah." Thought so. Good. What do we do? Drink it? Yeah. Good. I thought so.
Another great dialogue scene.
Great. Perfect. No notes.
I got some dialogue picks here.
Oh.
Some real zingers.
Hit me with them.
So in the epilogue, Jack Burton's, "We really shook the pillars of heaven, didn't we, Wayne?" Yeah. No horse shit, Jack. Yeah. No horse shit.
Oh. I mean, it brings a tear to my eye.
there's a one better one. I think it was said right before that. It's like, "Here's to the Army and Navy, the battles they have won. Here's to America's colors that never run."
Yes. That's when they're about to drink the potion.
Uh-huh. May the wings of liberty never lose a feather.
Yes.
I looked this up for hours because I was pretty sure it came from somewhere. It did not come. It came from here.
Really?
This was it.
Oh,
as far as I can tell in my half-assed research. Wow.
I just had the movie kind of replaying since I rented it. I was like, I'm just going to keep watching it. And as I was leaving the house, that was the scene. And I just like paused for a second, and Campbell and I just like were silent watching that moment. And then we looked at each other. We're like, oh, perfect. I left to come here. It's just so good.
Oh my God.
I'm so glad you wrote that down.
Those are the gems for me. Those were, there's so many gems. Like you said, in every scene is gold in this. Yeah,
it's true. We really shook the pillars of heaven, didn't we, Wang? I mean, I'm so glad you mentioned that, because that is really just, it's so cute. Like I love their that goodbye, you know?
It's such that encapsulates the mentality, I think, of patriotism in the 80s.
It does.
Because like this is coming out during like Rambo, Rocky, American Ninja. If
I have not.
You don't have to.
Don't?
You shouldn't. You should.
No, I think I will.
There's like 8 of them, but it's like this whole idea of American exceptionalism.
Sure.
And these kinds of little speeches.
Oh yeah.
People took shots. They tried.
Yeah.
This is a shot and a definite miss, but it still wins.
It wins
still so good.
There's just something so goofy about it,
you know? And it's hard to tell if it's goofy.
I know.
Like knowing what was happening back in the 80s,
yeah.
It's really difficult to know if they were being serious.
Right.
Because, oh my God. Yeah, I looked for hours to try to find references to that. Yeah, no, they made it up. They did it themselves.
Beautiful. Wow. Top notch. I just, my eyes went to this moment in the I just keep calling it the throne room scene. You know, there's so much that happens in that room, and it's a very, very cool set.
Yeah.
But the battle between, we haven't really talked a lot about Egg Shen, but I love him as a character in this movie.
Victor Wong. Yeah,
I love him. Oh, phenomenal. And I love Victor Wong in other movies I've seen. I'm mostly thinking of John Carpenter, but the battle between him and David Lopan, and it's very Star Wars,
very much,
right?
yeah.
Which makes what you said earlier so much cooler. I had no idea with the special effects, and like also the little like video gamey.
He was playing video games.
He was playing a video game. Yeah.
Oh my god! I don't remember that at all. But he was totally like playing a Game Boy against.
Yes.
And they had like the Ghost Warriors up above and the light beams, right? Yeah,
which looked so cool. I mean, this is such a fun movie to like.
I don't remember that at all either, but watching that again last night, that was amazing. Yeah, and the visual effects were, so good.
Yeah. Oh, my cheeks hurt. I've been smiling this whole time.
Yeah, Victor Wong. I don't know if you came across this, but there was another film made the same year about the same topic, the same plot almost.
Okay.
I feel like the reason John Carpenter made the movie the way he did is he was trying to rush it out to get it done before the other one, the Something Child, Eddie Murphy.
I actually know exactly what you're talking about, and I can't remember the name either.
You would think
he was in Three Ninjas, so I never saw that.
Oh yeah.
The Golden Child.
Golden Child.
Yeah.
So same Chinese ancient mysticism.
Whoa. Yeah.
So like Victor Wong was making this film and then hopped right over into Golden Child.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. Oh man.
Yeah.
Have you seen Prince of Darkness?
Well, maybe.
It's I highly recommend it. It's one of my favorite John Carpenter flicks. Victor Wong is fantastic in it.
I think it was a Carpenter film. Yeah, I think I've seen it.
Yeah. Alice Cooper.
Oh,
yeah. Thank God he doesn't do very much. He just stands there and stares. Oh wow, I completely forgot about that movie. I had no idea.
Yeah, and it's like they were nervous about. I think this came out in the summer, and then Golden Child came out at Christmas.
Did that do well in the box office?
Oh yeah, it's Eddie Murphy.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure it did way better.
Yeah.
I didn't look at the numbers on that, but yeah. So that's kind of like the relationship this film had to that.
Interesting.
Shared an actor, kind of a lead character actor.
Yeah.
But Victor Wong, very much. He's not in that many films, but I know him very well.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
He's iconic.
Yep.
You know.
He's that guy. He's very noticeable.
Yeah.
So just to wrap this up, we can keep talking about this, but just to wrap this up for the podcast's sake and the format. So we at the end of the podcast, we decide, nostalgia-wise, does this film hold up?
All right.
Do we kill it? Do we watch it? Or do we let it live? Oh. And I think it's pretty obvious.
It's obvious.
We let this live.
Of course.
We hold it up. And long live.
We praise it.
Long live Jack Burton.
Long live Jack Burton. Oh, yeah. I mean, this is such a comfort film for so many people, including myself. Mm-hmm. It's highly rewatchable.
I was expecting more things I wouldn't like about it, but I love this film.
It's surprisingly, it really holds up. I love it. We definitely let this one live, man.
We let this one live.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yay.
Well, just to wrap up then, thank you everybody for listening. I have been Luke Lones.
And I've been Taylor Diffenerfer.
And we have been the Nostalgia Killers.
Yay.
Played out music.